And that made me look at my community. And I'd realized there's two types of guys that come to me and come to you guys as well, right? And there's the guys that have good inner game and guys who have bad inner game, right? And inner game is basically your self-esteem, right? Your self-love, right? And I realized the majority of guys that came to me and had problems, they had bad self-esteem, and it usually was rooted from bad childhood, abuse. I've heard it all, man. I've heard guys being
similar to what you went through.
Worse than I went through.
Yeah.
Like a guy came to me, and told me, his sister used to rape him.
Mm-hmm.
A guy came to me and said his father used to beat him nonstop. A guy came to me and said his brother used to rape him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are things as men that are like hard to speak up about.
Of course.
Right. And when you have
You're told to hold it in.
Yeah, you're told to hold it in. You're told to like don't cry and don't fucking get therapy and shit. And you should be selective with the therapy. And I'm gonna talk about what I have come to conclusion so far as the best remedy for this. And I've realized that once you are able to fix this inner game issue, everything else kind of takes care of itself, right? Because the guys that come from good families, good households and stuff like that, these guys, they just need the game plan, right? Like guys like you, like, you just didn't understand like the 1, 2, 3 about the red pill, the 1, 2, 3 about how to make money online, the 1, 2, 3 about weight loss, right?
Yep.
But if you take that same knowledge and you give it to a guy who has a broken subconscious mindset, broken belief systems, broken self-esteem, broken family, it's like you're giving him like the instructions, but he can't even see the paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're giving him a book, but he can't read English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He can't even see the book in front of him, right? So that's what made me realize like the inner game aspect is the most important thing, right? And this ties into everything. This ties into having a poverty mindset. Because when I had started making my money in 2019, I had just inevitably felt like the money is going to run out. It is inevitable. Like poverty is coming for me like a demon, right? And that was because when I was little, my mom would always be like saying, we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money. That was like a constant thing. And it was like emotionally charged. I remember I walked in on her one time. She was like crying on the floor with all the bills in front of her because she's like, we just don't have money. We don't have money. And I'm like a 12-year-old boy feeling like helpless. Like, and that shit like emotionally fucking makes an imprint on you. So I realized that after handling my issues, I didn't realize how much that actually had catapulted me into success. And I started noticing that with my community. There's a guy who was in my community and he had a great job. He was making $80 to $120,000 a year. He was solid on a fitness plan we had for him, solid on fucking dating plan we had for him, and he had a cryptocurrency plan as well. So we talked in April, and by May, he had his fitness plan in order. He had meal prep. He had all this stuff. He had started allocating money to his cryptocurrency portfolio. Portfolio went up to $20,000 pretty quickly. And then he started approaching girls and making some progress. I was like, cool. I'm the fucking world's greatest coach.
Yeah, there you go. Job done. Story over, guys.
So 1 month later, he disappears, comes back to me. He's like, man, listen, I fucked up. I started sabotaging my diet. I started sabotaging my approaches. I went to a brothel. I spent all this money on hookers, and I blew all my cryptocurrency.
Damn.
Stupid. And I was just like, okay, dude, that's not a good idea. Let's reassess and let's get you back on the horse. We had another game plan, another gaming session, set him up. Same thing happened again. Boom. Got his fitness going. Did approaches, actually hooked up with a girl, had sex with a girl organically.
Nice.
20K crypto portfolio again. 1 month later, disappears. Same thing happened again. And I talked to him. I was like, hey, man, like, what's going on with you? Like, what's happening here? And then I started to dig a little bit about his self-esteem and these issues that he was going with. And he told me, like, when he was little, his dad used to, like, he was a traveling musician. His dad used to beat the fuck out of him. And his mom used to always, like, make fun of him and, like, just say, like, how he was a burden and like she really didn't want him, and like how he ruined his life.
Damn.
He ruined her life.
Damn.
This is a 29-year-old man. Okay. And when you're born with these kind of like abusive, toxic situations, your mental makeup is tainted. Right? This is like, you ever date a girl and like everything's like super cool, peaceful, and calm, and like some girls can't enjoy harmony and peace. Like they have to fuck it up.
Yeah.
They have to make drama.
Seriously. Yeah.
Because they grew up in a toxic, dramatic, chaotic upbringing.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we're children, we learn these subconscious programs, right? Because people think the conscious mind runs everything. No, it's the subconscious mind, right? And so these programs, we are inevitably slaves to them. And if you have a healthy one, it's inevitable for you to succeed.
Yeah.
If you have an unhealthy one, it's inevitable for you to fail. This is why people are addicted to drugs.
Yep.
This is why dudes simp. This is why girls become turbo whores. This is why people have sexual problems. This is why guys have approach anxiety. This is why people have gambling problems. Like, this is the root of all toxicity, poison, and shit that destroys your life. This is the root of it all.
Yep.
And over these last 2 years, I realized, because my body language mastery program is phenomenal, right? My coaching courses are phenomenal. And I have had tons of success with my students to know that they work. But I noticed that there's a certain subset of guys that were consistently failing. And after I interviewed every one of these guys, some of these guys have some sort of childhood-based trauma that has psychologically scarred them into believing that A, they're not good enough, that they're broken, that they're bad, that they're somehow inevitably doomed to fail. And this is, I discovered this in like, I started to understand this in July this year. And then I really started fucking like digging deep into it in like October and November and December as well.